One of the sectors in our economy that has suffered the most during this pandemic is arts and culture. For example, how do you keep alive a music venue when gathering for concerts is just not on? Well, let's find out. Heidi Van Vlymen is general manager of the Jazz Bistro. It's one of downtown Toronto's most beautiful places to go hear the best jazz artists around. But it's been pretty quiet lately, and Heidi Van Vlymen joins us now from just off the Yonge Dundas Square in the heart of the provincial capital. And Heidi, it's great to meet you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Not at all. It's great to meet you. Can you start by telling us what's going on at the Jazz Bistro these days?
Well, it's very quiet around here, and I must say it's a little bit sad not to have music in these halls. When we first had the first lockdown, it was a little bit shocking, and moving forward, we had decided to do a little bit of streaming, and it almost made me cry because it had been so dead and quiet for so long in these rooms and halls, and to hear music, live music again, was just amazing. So it's something to have it quiet. It shouldn't be quiet.
I mean, it's your job, but you love the music and clearly miss it, right?
Absolutely miss it.
I went on your website the other day, and I'm going to ask our director, Sheldon Osmond, just to bring up a shot. Now, there's what the glorious-looking Jazz Bistro normally looks like, but then right at the bottom of the screen, and I'll read this out loud for those who are listening on podcast and can't see it themselves, temporarily closed due to COVID-19 modified stage 2 restrictions. How often do you get people going to the website saying, dang, we were really hoping you were open, and that's not the news we wanted to hear?
Yeah, absolutely. We get it a lot. And we had events kind of scheduled that have been postponed based on news that Toronto Health is put forward. And it keeps getting pushed to another date, and now we're completely closed. And I don't imagine anything will happen until the new year. So it's we have people calling and looking to book, and I'm like, we can't be open. So I'm not sure where they're getting their information or how they're not knowing what's going on. But yeah, we have a lot of people, and the artists, it hits the artists the hardest because they have been pretty much locked up in their houses streaming since March. And it's just different when you have a live audience in front of you. It's for us as providers of the venue and servers, and it's just a different experience when you have people reacting to what you're giving them, whether it's live music, the food. Like it's just a sad state of affairs.
Yeah. How often are you getting emails or phone calls from either talent agents or musicians saying, are you taking bookings yet for next year? Or when do you think you're going to be back open? Or all of that kind of stuff?
We do. We get a lot of requests, and people are, thinking into the future and putting their name in there fast. And we get a lot. Our music director, James B., he's the one who books the room, and he does a fantastic job. And they are constantly coming in. This
is JaymzBee. James has got a funny way of spelling his name, but he's a super guy.
Yes.
Tell me this, when was the last time you opened your doors and had, a reasonably full hall of people listening to great music?
Well, I mean, we opened on the end of July when the city gave us that wonderful Cafe TO. Which honestly was a great thing that they did for Toronto, and I hope they keep that moving forward because it really gives such a cafe and European feel to our streets, and I think it's wonderful. So it gave us an opportunity to open the doors, play music from our sound system that we normally have, and put it out onto the street. Then we had, for the month of August, when we were allowed to bring people in, we were allowed up to 50 people. So social distancing, and along with all the other music venues and restaurants and such, we spent a lot of money and a lot of time making sure that we were compliant. So tables 6 feet apart, only 50 people, screens on the stage behind me so that if horns or people were singing, that the plexiglass would keep people safe from any kind of transmission or whatever. We did everything that we needed to do, and it was wonderful. Even though we could only have so many people in the restaurant, it was great. The artists loved it. We loved it. Our last show was October 3rd. And our owner, he closed out with a big bang. And with 50 people allowed in the venue, we were quite able to fill our seats. Normally we can have, up to 200 people because we have 2 floors that can enjoy the music. So we have a mezzanine level and the main level. And then you can always make room for tables. But now there's no squeezing. It is 50 and that's it.
So it's more than 2 months since you've really had anybody in there playing.
Absolutely.
What a shame. What is your complement of staff under normal circumstances?
Well, normally we have a full kitchen, which runs about, 15 cooks and the chef. And on the floor, the same thing. We have about 15 servers and then the sound technicians and myself and managers. So
it's getting close to 40 then?
Yes.
And have you had to lay everybody off?
Yes, we have. It's sad. I mean, everybody, it's hard. It's really been hard on the staff. A lot of them are young people, and the restaurant industry is often a stepping stone to bigger and broader dreams for some people. And it's been a hard go, and we're trying to do things to supplement, but it's difficult to keep everybody working, and our owners are wonderful and they do their best. Since the first lockdown in March, they did their absolute best to make sure that everybody still had some income, still had something to do. I mean, obviously we have 3 floors here. It's a huge venue and there's always something to do. So they made sure that they took care of the staff as best they could for as long as they could. But at some point, there has to be a time when you have to lay people off and hope for the best.
Let me ask you a couple of financial questions here. You mentioned that you'd spent a lot of money to get the place up to the standards of the provincial protocols so that you could reopen and have everybody be safe. Can you tell us how much money you spent to do all that?
I would say thousands of dollars. I mean, we bought all the equipment. We replaced all the sanitizing machines so that they're hands-free. We had to get screens. We had to move the dividers around, get dividers for the tables, get for the bar. It's all cordoned off. Everything has plexiglass and dividers, and that costs money, which we understand and we're absolutely willing to do to keep people safe. And we heard so many times from guests coming in. They really appreciated the effort that we were making to make sure that people were safe. We had a nurse that came and he worked at Mount Sinai, and he came down and shook my hand and he said, I want to thank you. You've got a pass from Mount Sinai. And I thought that was kind of nice.
He shook your hand. Well, you'd have to bump your elbow today, right? No handshaking anymore.
That's right. That's right.
Now, for those who've got really good memories and who have watched TVO for a long time, your place used to be called the Top of the Senator, and we used to bring camera crews down there quite frequently, and we used to shoot what was going on there, and we'd do interviews with the musicians. But then the place went under new ownership, and I mean, I'm not sure you were there when the ownership changed hands, but they literally spent millions, right? Millions changing the old Top of the Senator to the new Jazz Bistro. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Millions of dollars, yeah. And I mean, it's a completely different venue right now.
It really is. And how, if I mean, this is a hard question to ask, but if you don't get this place open and earning revenue soon, is there a danger that the bistro is going to disappear?
Well, and our owners are committed. So they are committed to keeping live music around in the city. This is a beautiful venue. They've worked very hard over the years, implementing, different kinds of music, world music, changing the kind of, getting just different jazz from all around the world. And the bonus is that we own the building, or my owners own the building. So that is a little bit of a blessing. It helps. I don't know how other people are doing it. I really don't. And so many jazz venues and clubs in the city have gone under, and to we just can't have another one go under. Our musicians need us. We need them. So our owners are committed. I mean, it's not an easy, there's money going out the door in droves. But we're going to try and come back and make sure that we're here for our artists and our staff and the city.
So just to further understand this, if you own the building, you're not having to pay rent to a landlord. There is that. But presumably you've still got electricity costs. You've still got property taxes to pay. There was a bit of a holiday a few months ago, but that holiday's over. What other expenditures have you got to deal with now with no revenues coming in?
Well, I mean, like you said, the running costs keep coming, so that doesn't change. So, we just had the heating, we had to a $3,000. Like, it's just constant maintenance, upkeep, and like I said, it's we own the building, but then we own all the problems. So, the heating, the roof, the leaks, everything that happens in a building, and it just keeps the money still needs to come to pay all those things and to keep the lights on.
Now, Heidi, this is admittedly a bit of a controversial question, but here goes anyway. You know that there are some people in our society who have been protesting quite frequently about the fact that so much of society has been locked down. Some of these people don't want to wear masks at all. Some of them think that the cost of small businesses like yours has been too high. I guess I want to know whether you and your owners fall into that category of people who think the reaction has been too strong and that you wish you could open at least a little bit and have something going on there. What do you think?
Well, that's an interesting question because we do have an opinion on that. I mean, masks 100%. Anybody that, feels like masks are something that you don't need to wear, I think it's an easy thing to do to keep everybody safe and to, whatever your beliefs are, it just keeps peace and makes everybody feel like everybody's doing their part. As far as the venues and the way it's been rolled out is interesting and a little confusing at times. It's not very clear as to what is expected. So when we had the patios, we were closed inside, but you could have the patios. And then, but initially you couldn't cover the patios because then it was a closed enclosure. Then people started closing their patios. It's just not very clear. So I think it needs to be a little bit more clear. And honestly, like so many of these small shops, like ourselves, we're considered small in the fact that we're a singular owned, there's not multiple locations that we have. So we've taken the time to make sure that everybody is safe and we can actually control that as the same with right now, everybody else. I mean, the small bookstores and whatever, they are easy enough to control one person in at a time. It's something that I think putting this blanket closure on everybody, if there's a certain area that's a problem, I think it's more house parties and home parties and those kinds of things as opposed to venue problems or business problems. I mean, the biggest controversy obviously is the box stores that are allowed to be open, and I don't know, you've been there, I've been there, there's no social distancing happening there. And so I don't understand, and we don't understand how having 50 people in a very organized situation where they could hear live music, we didn't have any problems. And I was very diligent on making sure that people stayed in their seats, had their masks on when if they had to go to the washrooms, everything was tight. And to just shut it down blanketly so that all these small businesses can't make a penny and a box store gets all the revenue, and it doesn't make sense to me. And we wanted people to stay safe. 100%. Wear your masks, follow the rules. But for those of us that have hard to make sure that we are staying on top of keeping everyone safe, I think it's a bit much right now.
And to the best of your knowledge, none of your kitchen staff, none of your audio technicians, nobody who works there has contracted a case of COVID-19 from working there?
No, absolutely not.
So you're convinced that you could open the doors even now with the enhanced protocols in place, and for admittedly a smaller audience, you could open to live music safely. You're convinced you could do that?
The owners are following the protocol. So if it says that we are to be closed, we are happy to be closed. We're happy to follow the rules. That being said, I think, based on the protocols that we've taken and the measures that we've taken to keep people safe, I believe we can keep people safe. But we're not going to, fight to go against what the city and the government has decided. We will go along and follow the rules, absolutely. But we went to very big measures to make sure that we are safe, and we did a really good job at it. I had mentioned to someone before that, if they had just maybe deputized a few people and just walk around the city and just walk in 2 minutes, you can tell if they're compliant or not. And then shut them down, not for 28 days, but shut them down for a week and get them to fix it. Like, I don't have the answers. The numbers are going up. So, we all need to do our part. But live music and the entertainment industry and food service is suffering, and it's going to be a long road back.
Can you tell us whether there were any programs introduced by any level of government, federal, provincial, or municipal, that were helpful to you during this time?
Yes, well, we had taken advantage of the...
Oh, municipal tax holiday?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And the wage rebate. So the supplement for anybody that you're paying, that helped a lot. I mean, that really, we appreciate it immensely. It doesn't change the fact that it's still a very big negative that we're dealing with, but it definitely helped, and we really appreciate the help.
Well, speaking of appreciate, we really appreciate your taking some time to come on TVO tonight and explain your situation there. And I can't tell you, I'm sure I speak for thousands when I say we can't wait for the doors to be open again so that we can get back to the Jazz Bistro and hear some live music. You take care, Heidi, okay?
Thank you for having me.
Not at all. That's Heidi Van Vlymen, who's the general manager at the Jazz Bistro in downtown Toronto.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.